coverage of the TSB Community Trust Series is proudly brought to you by Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand, Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, Lotto Sports, and Hockey New Zealand. Live from Stratford, it's the Vantage Blacksticks versus Japan.
Hockey New Zealand's coverage of the TSB Community Trust Series between the Vantage Blacksticks and Samurai Japan continues at the TET Multi Sports Centre in Stratford on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in the central Taranaki town. Japan currently lead the series 1-0 by beating New Zealand 2-1 on Thursday night, and New Zealand will look to even the ledger in match 2 of this 4-match series. Kia ora and konnichiwa, my name is Will Johnston, and it's a privilege to be here as the Blacksticks continue to build to their Olympic qualifier here in November against Korea. We're live on Hockey New Zealand's channels, also on Sky Sport 9 this afternoon. Matt Hastings is downstairs and he will have the two coaches of today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Stratford for this Game 2 of the TSB Community Series between the Blacksticks and the Samurai of Japan. Joining me very shortly will be the coach from the Japan, Siegfried Aikman. Siegfried. Siegfried, welcome back to Stratford today. Another beautiful day compared to Thursday night. Any changes to the team today from Thursday night?
No, we have the same group.
Same group. So any key changes in terms of tactics? Thursday night you set up quite defensively and that was a very, very good ploy for you. Any changes to tactics today?
Not really, because we expect New Zealand to come. They have to come. They are the one who has to attack today. And we will deal with it. We expect a lot of pressure and it will challenge us a lot. So if we would play a different, too much attacking strategy, we would fall in a trap, because then they have space to counter-attack, and that's not what we want.
Sure. How did you use the day off yesterday to prepare for today's game?
We did some recovery training and we did some meetings wherein we checked the lessons to learn from yesterday, from the day before. And so I think we are well prepared for today.
Great. All the best for today. Thanks very much.
Enjoy it.
Great. Thanks very much. Thank you. Joining me now is Blacksticks assistant coach Glenn Turner. Glenn, welcome today.
Thank you
great
very
day.
much.
Different conditions compared to Thursday night. Will we see that play into today's game?
I think so. I think for us, Thursday night, we were a bit nervous coming in, and the weather conditions doesn't help anyone, but they've got to play in the same conditions, so that's no excuse. But today's a beautiful day, big crowd, so I'm looking forward to it.
And what are the key messages today compared to Thursday night? Is it much of the same or a different approach?
It's much of the same, but our intent and our basics just weren't good enough, and we're not going to lie about that. We need to improve that, and really quickly in the next few weeks before our big games versus Korea, and today's the first step in that.
Shane McLeish joins the 300 club with Archibald Burrows and Cousins. A special day for him in the black jersey.
Unbelievable. Yeah, 300 games for your country is something very special. He's a great person and an absolutely great player. Had many games against him, and now I love watching him play. He's really, really good player.
Great. All the best. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much. See ya.
So an exciting day today. Great weather for the crowd here in Stratford. Boys, up to you and enjoy the game.
Thanks very much, Matt. The words from the two coaches, Siegfried Aikman of Japan and assistant coach of the Blacksticks, Glenn Turner, as the two teams coming out very shortly, and very lucky to be joined by Blacksticks midfielder Aaron Punchia. Aaron, a beautiful day here in Stratford, a contrast to what we had on Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we expected some rain today, but the sunny Taranaki's put it on, and it's good to be out here in Stratford, and we're looking for a good performance from the Blacksticks.
Had a bit of a day off as well yesterday, which was brilliant. I'm sure you guys did some recovery, but how good has it been in the heartland of New Zealand?
Yeah, look, it's always good when we come out into the regions. We always get great support, and to get back to the grassroots of hockey is really special. So the hockey community all over New Zealand is really strong, and to be performing out here in front of them is awesome.
Looking forward to the anthems very shortly, and the players are making their way out onto the turf at Stratford. It's no stranger to international hockey. This venue hosted the Oceania Cup in 2013 and 2015. Also the Vantage Black Six women's side against USA in 2014 for a few tests. Two significant milestones for both teams today. First, Shota Yamada of Japan will be celebrating his 100th match after Serene Tanaka celebrated 100 on Thursday. And New Zealand's Shea McAleese will notch up 300 matches, an incredible milestone, and the fourth player to reach 300 tests. And the presentations will be made by Hockey Taranaki chairman Alistair Thomas. And you know Shea McAleese very well, don't you, Aaron? 300 matches, it's a significant milestone.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's only 4 guys that have reached that milestone, and Shea's had a very long career, and one of the Black Six legends. So to bring it up on home soil, and in a important stage of our preparation is pretty special. And I know Shea's very proud of his achievements, but he's looking for a good performance today.
As we saw the presentation to Yamada just before, and the presentation for McAleese as well, and a very strong crowd. Claps and applause, 300 tests, and he will join Burrows, Cousins and Archibald in the 300 club. And now we have the two anthems of New Zealand and Japan.
Would you please remain standing for the national anthem of New Zealand?
The anthems of both countries, Japan and New Zealand. Japan come into this match with plenty of confidence after beating New Zealand 2-1 on Thursday night. Some players to watch out for today, of course, Tanaka, Yamada and Zindana. Fujishima and Watanabe scored the 2 goals on Thursday. Looking to score more today, I'm sure. Looking at the Japanese side, starting for today is Yamasaki, Batani, Tanaka, Hoshi, Osahi, Wakura, Yamada, Tanaka, Zindana, Kurishita. Plenty of players. A handful of these players have played in the NHL as well, so they know the New Zealand conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we had a couple of players from the Japanese side play in the last couple of years at NHL, and it's always good. They've been building for the last few years, obviously for Tokyo, and they're a really strong team.
And for the home team, New Zealand, there's plenty of experience across a range of positions, including household names like McAleese himself, Simon Childs, Nick Woods, Punchier brothers, obviously one's up here, Stephen Jennis. Woods scored the Black Sticks' only goal 2 days ago. So they have assembled. It looks like New Zealand will be playing from left to right. Coach is Darren Smith, but leading the team today is Glenn Turner. And a little bit of rotation policy going on. Of course, you got 4 tests in less than a week, so a good opportunity for you, Aaron, to rest the legs.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's always a tough schedule playing 4 games in 6 days or whatever it is, and yeah, it's a bit of a rotation policy as we move ahead to the Olympic qualifiers. So Darren and the selectors are obviously looking to pick the strongest side for the November side. So yeah, it's a good rest for me, but yeah, and also an opportunity for the boys out there today.
We'll be joined by George Moore in the second half, so looking forward to that. Simon Childs over the ball. And a beautiful day here in Stratford. Great crowd too. And it should be a great afternoon of hockey. New Zealand looking to even the ledger. Japan have the lead in the series 1-0 at the moment after that 2-1 win on Thursday night. In difficult conditions, wasn't it? And you were there, you were the captain on the day. Was it pretty tough?
Yeah, it was testing conditions. We'd only have a couple of hitouts on the turf, but bit of wind, bit of rain, but nothing that we're not used to. So it's a bit nicer out there today, and I know the turf's running nice and smooth, so we should expect some good hockey.
Umpires for this afternoon is Ben Grant and David Tomlinson as we're away here at the TET Stadium. And New Zealand get the ball with Russell, and they move it through that edge down there, and they get a free hit. There's your brother, Jared. And we did see, Aaron, as well on Thursday that New Zealand played a lot of the ball in their own half, looking for those combinations. Was the message to be a little bit conservative early on, or it was just the way the game went?
I think it's just the way the game went, and we always try to be aggressive when we have the ball, but Japan did a good job of pressing us and keeping us in our own half, and that's certainly something we want to work on today. It's just keeping possession in their half, which, as you can see, we're already starting to do.
New Zealand applying some really, really good pressure early on as they try and counter-attack in the early stages. Nice run there from Russell. He's just outside the D. Here's the shot! And he's in straight away.
Yeah, it's a nice finish from Kane Russell, bursting in from the right-hand touchline, and Kane's just arrived from the Holland League, and this is part of his skill set, is receiving the ball on the sideline, making an elimination, and actually getting to the top of the circle and finishing with a nice reverse stick shot.
Well, it's only taken a couple of minutes, and Russell, straight away, New Zealand showed their intent in the second match. He had a lot of space there too in the reverse shot, and Tanaka in goal. It was too fast for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he didn't have a good side on it, but it's a classy finish by Kane Russell. Someone that's known for his drag flicking ability, but he's probably one of our most dangerous attacking weapons, and it's a great start for the Black Sticks, and awesome to see them on the score sheet early.
Japan, who's had no possession so far, and they'll just play it in their own half. They played with a lot of energy, didn't they, on Thursday night? I mean, we'll be talking about the learnings of that game as we continue our broadcast today. And New Zealand applying the pressure straight away. And they're inside the circle once more. Another shot coming from the Kiwis. Great work by the keeper to just kick it away. And Japan will get it out.
It was a good steal from Simon Child there, known for his pressing ability, but also his connection there with Steve Jennis, and a good quick finish, good and a good save from the Japanese keeper.
Well, every game's different, isn't it? And this one here has certainly heated up. New Zealand having a lot of the ball so far. Japan will get it back. And was the message for today to be a little bit more aggressive?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the first quarter, we started a wee bit flat the other night, and we just wanted to start with a bit more aggression. And as you can see, another turnover from Child and Jake Smith there.
Is the reverse shot again? Another one straight away. And it's Stephen Jeunesse, who goes 2-0 up in the early stages of this of this first quarter. A brilliant start by the Kiwis.
Yeah, as you can see here, a good turnover from Simon Child, releasing to Jake Smith, and then Steve Jennis, always dangerous in the circle, and a classy finish on the reverse. Steve was actually another player who's just arrived from Europe, been a little bit sick on the journey over, so it's good to see him back on the field and doing what he does best.
Well, if the opening minutes is going to be anything to go by, this will be a cracker. Japan a little flustered on defence.
And I think expect the Black Six to keep the full press going here, keep applying pressure and looking to turn over the Japan team in their own half, creating opportunities like that.
You can see that the intent straight away. Here's Childs now. Great pass again inside the circle. Trying to link up there. And it's a little bit of a foot race there. It's gone off Jennis, the goal scorer. So Russell and Jennis are the two goal scorers for the Black Sticks at the moment. Zenada for Japan.
That's good immediate pressure there from Jake Smith and a good turnover.
Childs and Smith there. And they did target Yamada, who's got a very good drag flick on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's always dangerous and he's always looking for those long balls. So the more pressure we can get on him and try and block that ball before he releases it, will create good opportunities for us.
Okay, New Zealand now. Tarrant. And on the far side of the turf, good defence coming up there from Japan. And I think they'll get it back there. A little bit of push and shove on the far side.
Yeah, a little bit of physicality is always good, but Steve Edwards there on the ball with his very quick hands and looking for an elimination skill. It's awesome to see Steve back in the Black Sticks after a few years off and doing what he does best with some good elimination skills.
And almost for the first time in this match, Japan get it inside the Black Sticks half. They just pass back to safety just to get their attack organised.
Yeah, for the Japanese team, they'll be looking to control a bit of possession and just build themselves back into this game. They'll feel like they've barely touched the ball and always under pressure. So you can see the Black Sticks already starting to push out and apply that pressure again.
And immediately, oh, that's in two. Japan bounce back straight away. 2-1.
Yeah, something you always have to be careful with the Japanese team, just crashing the ball in from the right-hand side and taking an unfortunate touch, but these things happen in hockey, and it's a good finish off the ground into the corner.
Shahi was the man wearing number 6 this afternoon. Well, this healthy crowd in Stratford has been spoiled in the first quarter here in Stratford. 3 very good goals. And even Japan showed their intent. As soon as they get into the right area of the turf, they've paid dividends.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting period now. Black Six, they're just looking to press out again and keep being aggressive, but of course as you press out you're having to defend bigger areas of the field, so it opens you up a wee bit, so they'll just look to consolidate, I think, from a little bit more half court, but also looking to apply as much pressure as they can.
Reed and Lett in the backfield. Woods now gets it across on that far side. And again, intercepted by Japan. So here we go again. Oh, losing his footing there on the far side. Maybe a little bit slippery there. So once more, Japan. Coin with the defence as Wakuri. Trying to find some of his players in the circle.
That's good defence there from Blair Tarrant, just blocking the ball and not letting them get an easy circle entry there on the left-hand side. And good defence there from Nick Woods just to win the intercept and clear the field.
Wakudu again gets ball in play. Return ball back to him. Hirishita. The pass inside the circle. Japanese player nowhere near it, unfortunately for them, but New Zealand off the foot there, I believe. They get it back. Overhead pass. And it's gone into the possession of the number 12, Sam Lane. But Japan get it back again. Zindana with the crossfield pass, but it's just gone a little bit too far, and Fujishima couldn't quite control it. He was the solitary, he was one of two players who scored the 2 goals for Japan the other night. Trying to run it out as Nagai. And they're in some space. Nagai gets the return pass. But New Zealand once more climb on top of them.
Yeah, and you're starting to see the game open up a wee bit. Just both teams being quite aggressive and looking to play forward, which is it's always good. As you can see, just a few more turnovers from the Black Sticks, but they're looking to be aggressive, and I think that's something we really wanted to keep from Thursday night, was just keep that intent to play forward and be aggressive when we need to be.
Tanaka had the pass inside the circle. Yamasaki just wasn't in a very good position to collect it. So the Black Sticks get it back and he gets it back.
You can really see the difference in tactics here. So you see the Japanese team sitting back on halfway. And one of their key strengths is really the counter-attack ability. So they're happy to sit in half court and look to counter-attack, just like this opportunity here.
Tanaka, who's a very good distributor. Japan now in the right quarter, inside the D, but great interception from the Black Sticks.
Yeah, Corey Bennett there just stepping in front, wanting the ball, and good, calm, being good, well calm and collected there on the ball and releasing to Dylan Thomas.
Yamada there with a good defence, passes back. And I mean, you mentioned before about, there might be a few more turnovers when you play aggressively, but the Black Sticks can back their defence, can't they, when they do get a turnover?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that we've prided ourselves on for a long time, and really defending our circle as best we can. And it's something that's really driven from the captain, Blair Tarrant, and he lives by that, defending the circle. So it's good to see that the Black Sticks are defending their circle and also looking to press out and be aggressive, which is another key strength for us.
Good to have the insights of Aaron Punch here from Auckland, 30-year-old, 280 caps. You've notched up too, and you'll be looking to get the 300, become the 5th player.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate in my career to play a number of games, and I guess that's kind of the next milestone. But for us, it's all about qualifying for Tokyo, and this series really is good prep for that. And the Japanese play a very similar style to Korea, so we're looking forward to that November series.
Talking to Coach Darren Smith on Thursday, it was just the luck of the draw that Japan came out here to New Zealand. No sort of, I guess it wasn't rigged or anything in terms of playing a similar team to Korea.
No, it was actually more luck of the draw. So the team that we played in the qualifier was actually drawn shortly after our Oceania Cup final. And it could have been one of 4 teams, and it just happened to be Korea, which is a team we haven't seen too much of. But Japan we're very familiar with in the last few years, as they've been preparing well for Tokyo.
Of course, Japan has already qualified for the Olympics in their home country next year. A scrambling defence, Reed gets it out of the circle, and they move the ball down. Good control on that far side from Smith, and he breaks away.
Good composure on the ball there from both Dane Lett and Jake Smith, 2 capital players, playing very well. So it's good to see the Black Sticks just keeping it very well. impressive the skills there from Steve Jennis, almost keeping along the baseline there.
Yeah, I thought he controlled it nicely too, but I think the ball just went out. Playing to number 15 is Nayoshi for Japan. Good pass, but just couldn't quite make the connection. I thought Japan on Thursday night played a really aggressive style of hockey, didn't they? They were in your face from an attack point of view.
Absolutely, you know, they've got some real dangerous threats out there with their counter-attack, and also their just individual skill on the ball. So something we wanted to do was just condense the field a wee bit and make them play towards our numbers. So we're really starting to see that. You haven't seen too many good Japanese counter-attacks, but you know, as the game wears on, they'll be more and more dangerous.
Oshahi, the goal scorer for Japan. A little bit of contact there on the line.
Yeah, just a bit of a body challenge there, but unfortunate. But you know, sometimes these things happen, and a good call from the ref there.
No intent really is there, and you're not out to hurt players. You're out there just to grab the ball, and sometimes somebody could be in the way.
Yeah, that's right. It's part of the game, and you know, something that international hockey is known for is just the use of your body defending and being cynical when you need to be, but at the same time using your body to protect the ball. So it's a good physical game out there, and you know, you're going to see that every now and again. Good connection there with Jared and Steve Edwards there, and Steve's silky skills you'll see on display here.
It was nice, and it was all done in New Zealand's half to intercept the Japanese ball, and New Zealand on attack. And yeah, it was good skills there from Edwards out of North Harbour. Returns for the first time since 2015, so he'll relish the opportunity. And New Zealand now with a chance in the... Oh, that was very close.
Very good connection there from Blair Tarrant, Jared Panchier and Steve Jennis. You just see the combinations there. Good give-and-go hockey, and then releasing to the circle, and ends up with a unorthodox reverse stick shot from Captain Blair Tarrant there, but you know, awesome to see a good shot. Fortunately, it didn't go on the target.
A little bit off balance, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's very impressive there.
It was.
From Blair, you know, a defender as well, to get in the circle there and actually win the ball, and then you know, get a good quick shot away.
Nagai now on halfway. And trying to get it away was Oshahi. But once more, Jared Smith in some space. He's fast, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's one of his strengths of his game. And good connection here again with Simon Child, Jared Panchier, Jake Smith.
Here's the reverse shot by Childs, and just over the top. Simon Child, another experienced player, 274 caps in the midfield. And it was a great connection. And all, well, it was a mile away.
There we go again, Simon's forehand.
The keeper doing a great job. Child, he's got a very powerful shot, doesn't he?
Yes, he won't be too happy about those two, but I'm sure he'll get plenty more opportunities with the way the Black Sticks are pressing, creating lots of good turnover in the Japanese half, which is leading to these good, clear chances. And I know it'll be a strength for the Black Sticks for the next upcoming games, but it's something that's already created some good opportunities, and they'll look to continue doing this for the rest of the game.
About a minute to go in this first quarter. New Zealand have the advantage by 1. It's 2-1. Goals scored by Russell and Jennis. They were very quick, back-to-back, and then Oshahi has got the solitary goal for Japan. Panchier now. Here's Child. Oh no, but I think they're off the mark.
45 seconds.
About 40 seconds to play now. And I think New Zealand will be very happy with their first quarter. 2-1 up. We'll get some insight in terms of the messages at halftime, I'm sure, with our analyst up in the commentary box, Aaron Panchier. So Japan will look to get the equaliser just before the break.
This is a long corner here. It's going to be a little scramble to get the ball back and get it played in, but they'll be looking to get the ball in the circle as quick as they can so they can try and create something here.
Pretty solid defence there by New Zealand, but I think Blair Tarrant have a penalty away, and there's the hooter to indicate the end of the first quarter. And 2 quick goals by the Black Sticks, and they lead Japan 2-1. It's been a very aggressive start by the Black Sticks in this first quarter. And what do you think some of the messages will be at the break?
Look, I think the messages from Darren and Glenn will just to keep being aggressive in the press and to be looking to play as much as we can in the Japanese half. You know, we've seen some good opportunities already. Some we've scored, some we haven't. But you know, the name of the game really is just to try and keep getting those clear opportunities and pull the trigger as much as we can in the circle.
Well, what's noticeable there at the top of the picture is Simon Child really blowing numbers, isn't he? He looks tired. He's done a lot of work in this first quarter.
Yeah, that's right. It's part of the way we full press. You know, especially the strikers, they're always having to run big distances and you know, really get pressure on the Japanese strikers. So it's always testing, but you know, as you can see, it's created some good opportunities, and I think something the Black Sticks will continue to look to do.
And in contrast, Japan, who are behind on the leaderboard, Seyfried Aikman, the coach, possibly some of his messages, do you think?
Yeah, I think for the Japanese side, it'll be just to be a little bit more composed on the ball. You see a number of times they've actually turned the ball over from 16. So, you know, quite often you just have to stand there, have a look at the whole field and pick a pass. But I think they'll look to play the ball a little bit more along the ground and see if they can make the Kiwis overcommit in terms of their press, so they can actually open up a few opportunities. And as I said before, the disadvantage of full pressing is that you're defending the whole field. So it creates opportunities if you're calm and if you structure well off the ball.
A very short break. Both teams consuming a lot of water. I mean, we're in a little bit of cover here with the wind coming in, so it's a little bit chilly, but out there, having a walk around the turf earlier this afternoon, quite warm.
Yeah, it's good. There's not too much cloud cover here, and a little bit exposed, but you know, it's good conditions, and certainly lends to playing some good hockey, as we can see on display in that first quarter.
Well, we have mentioned that 4 players have played over 100 matches for Japan, so both teams have experienced players. Some of the Japanese players are used to New Zealand conditions, having played in the NHL, which was won by North Harbour for the first time, both the men's and the women's division as well. So North Harbour hockey having a successful year. Good linking play here from Japan. Getting the pass away was Kurishita, but New Zealand get it back, and that is Ross getting Child into some space. Off the foot there of Japan. Can the umpires play a little bit of advantage there? If it comes off the foot and a New Zealander gets it, they just play on?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's something you're always kind of looking for as a player, is looking to use that advantage as best you can. But at times, you know, the refs have to call things up just to slow the game down a wee bit and, you know, to be fair.
Smacking the ball down field is Tanaka. Yamasaki with his footwork, and he gets the pass away nicely, working away on that far edge.
And a good job there from Marcus Child, just to keep the Japanese attacker on the sideline and not let him come infield, which is one of the key strengths of the Japanese, is just their ability to eliminate, get infield and actually cause some problems. So you see Jared Panchidu here doing a similar thing. And unfortunate play there for the Black Sticks. The ball getting put up into the air, and Nick Ross just playing at it, and unfortunately straight into the Japanese defender, just above the waist there, so it's a little bit dangerous, and yeah, corner.
Corner for the first time in this match. Japan having a conference at the top of the circle. Just working out combinations. It'll be interesting to see who the potential strikers could be.
Looks like Zendana and Yamada up there at the top. Both very accomplished flickers, and the Black Sticks here will be looking to either block one of the flicks or block 2 of them with Leon Hayward in goal there, so it'll be interesting to see what tactics they use here.
Japan, a chance to equal here. This shot just over the top, and I think that's gone into the car park.
That was actually a good save from Leon Hayward there. I think he's got to stick to it. looked like it was going to the top corner of the goal, so a good save from the Black Sticks keeper.
So New Zealand can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. And here's Russell moving the ball into a really nice position. And the number 11, Jacob Smith, just couldn't quite link up, but they still have it back and they're in a good spot.
Yeah, it's a good pass there from Kane Russell into Jake Smith on the reverse, but Jake did a good job of just getting a stick to it and winning a free hit.
"12 minutes to play before the halftime break. And Japan through Yamada. Good little show there. Oshahi, he'll get it back. Into play there from Tanaka and Oshahi, but unfortunately it goes out.
Good pressure there from Marcus Child and Nick Ross just to force the turnover in the Japanese half. And again, the Black Sticks looking to control possession in the Japanese back 50 and just create a good attack here with Blair Tarrant.
Well, it was a nice pass, but unfortunately it goes to Oshahi. New Zealand applying pressure in the corner. Oshahi.
It's always a tough situation here in the corner. You got attackers on breathing down your neck and a good turnover there.
Good pass.
And a great goal.
New Zealand score another one. Good play there. Japan possibly didn't get it out quick enough from the corner, and they capitalise again. And it could be Sam Lane.
No, it's Jake Smith there on the far post, and a good connection with Jake and Marcus, two guys that have played in Europe together actually. But the pressure came from the corner with Nick Ross, I think it was, releasing the pass to Marcus Child. And you know, the Black Sticks again, that full press really paying dividends for them, creating pressure in the front 50, and you know, ultimately leading to a good goal scoring opportunity and well finished by Jake Smith.
3-1. This crowd is enjoying the hockey.
And you can see the Black Sticks pressing out again, looking to continue to build that pressure and just not give the Japanese team an inch, which is you know, really good to see.
Smith with the intercept again. New Zealand really showing their intent in the second match of 4. Woods passes it back to space, and now they get it inside the quarter of the Japanese half. Panchia now, just trying to link up with Childs, but it has been intercepted by Nagoshi. He's in space.
Yeah, good tackle there from the Japanese defender on the circle edge, and as you can see, just launching a counter-attack. Not quite working out for the Japanese, but Kiwis back with the ball.
Deflection, well taken in the crowd. They've got to watch themselves, I guess, because the balls are fairly hard. So good hands by the gentleman.
You always got to be careful on the sideline of a hockey game. Balls flying everywhere, and you know, it's a very quick game, so you got to keep your eye on the ball, even if you're on the sideline.
It's like 2020 cricket, isn't it? Just got to keep your eye on the ball. Zindana clears. Oh, that's it didn't look nice at all. And a New Zealand player on the far side goes to deck.
Yeah, I think it's Jake Smith. I think
yeah, it is.
The ball in the ankle there. Again, putting that pressure on, and you know, sometimes these things happen. You put your hand on the ground and you get a ball in the ankle, but Jake looks to be all right, shaking it off and getting back into position.
Oh, I'm sure it's not the first or the last time that's happened to him. New Zealand on the attack again. Child, Panchia, round his man. Child again with the shot, trying to look for a second.
Yeah, another good turnover there from the Black Sticks, launching a counter-attack, and a connection again between Jared Panchia and Simon Child, two guys that play a lot of hockey together, playing for the Southern Districts Hockey Club in Auckland.
Apologies, Russell, Jennison and Smith are the goal scorers for New Zealand. I'm sure Childs, though, will look to get his name on the score sheet. So, Japan will be desperate to get a goal just before the break, just to keep themselves in this game. Good control there by Yoshi. The reverse shot, trying to look for the deflection, and away to the right.
Yeah, I think Japan will be disappointed with that. The ball just going past the far post, and there was actually a player there who I'm not sure if he had his stick down or not, but that's something you always want to do. If you're a striker standing on that far side of the goal, is just widen the goal as much as you can, and yeah, Japan will be disappointed with that one.
Over halfway, the Black Sticks go. Great pass. Genis, though, couldn't quite link up. Moving it down that far side is Fujishima. Got his name on the score sheet in the first game. Nothing yet from him so far today. It could work out, though, for Japan. Roshi, inside pass, and a deflection off the Black Sticks.
And good cover defence there from both Dane Lett, just to force a shot wide, and Blair Tarrant coming across to cover, just knocking that ball over the baseline. Black Sticks will be pretty happy with how they defended that, as it was quite a dangerous opportunity for Japan.
Important to mention in goal for New Zealand is Leon Hayward. Notched up 13 caps for the Kookaburras. So his debut for New Zealand today.
Yeah, he played the shootout the other night, but yeah, this is his actual debut for the Black Sticks, and played in the Auckland NHL team and played really well at NHL. So he's getting his opportunity here, and already made a good save with the PC, and he'll be looking to, I'm sure, make a few more saves as the game goes on.
And he's diving in front of the goal. A desperate save, but I think it just went away as we take a look at the replay.
Japanese player does very well here, just to get the ball across the field. And as you can see, that player on the far post just with a little opportunity there. So I think the Black Sticks will breathe a sigh of relief.
Yamasaki played for Central in the NHL as well, so he's had a little bit of time over here in New Zealand.
Yeah, he's a very dangerous player. He scored a few goals at NHL for Central, and always dangerous in the circle. So he's one to watch out for.
Now, the Black Sticks. Oh, just couldn't control it. And the baseline will win the race.
Yeah, good connection there between Brad Reid and Dylan Thomas, two of the younger Black Sticks, and down the left-hand side there, which can be quite tight. But a good pass from Brad Reid, and also elimination from Dylan Thomas just into the circle. The Black Sticks, I think, will look to just build a bit of possession in the front 50 here, and hopefully create a few more circle penetrations.
It's a 3-on-1 over on the far side. Pretty hard to get out of that situation. I mean, New Zealand do have it back, but still pretty tough.
Yeah, look, sometimes you get in these situations where it's 1v2, 1v3, and all you can really do is try to look for a quick free hit and play the ball quickly out of space. And usually if there's three defenders on one side of the field, there's a whole lot of space on the other, so that's normally the goal.
Edwards. Jeunesse couldn't quite get it back to him.
Yeah, you can see the Black Sticks here again, full press.
Oh dear, that could be coming up to us. No.
Under pressure here, the Japan players. They're, like I said, they probably want to be a little bit more calm and collected on the ball and just see the whole field. As you can see, the Black Sticks just stepping across here, again, putting more pressure on.
Can they get out of their own half? Japan. And they go beyond Tanaka. And they do get out of their own half. Well controlled on this left-hand side with Yamada. Sorry, that's Yamasaki. And they move through the defence. That's nice work.
That's good play from the Japan team just to stay relaxed on the ball and actually looked to connect. And as you can see, just creating a bit of width, getting into the Black Sticks, back into the Black Sticks half, and actually looking to create an opportunity here.
Yamada. Oh, bit of contact there.
It's just an unfortunate one there. I think Sam Lane just slipped. Here comes another crash ball from the Japan team.
Okay. Well, Corey Bennett not happy with the official.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The ball was kind of lifted into the circle, but I think it's hit Corey's stick and into a Japanese defender. We'll see here on the replay. Yeah, I think what Corey's saying there is that it's came in a dangerous height, which he's probably fair to say, but unfortunately the ball's hit his stick and went upwards again into a Japanese player, so PC for Japan.
Yeah, Blair Tarrant as well. I think he threw his 2 cents worth in, the captain for today. But the umpire won't change his mind. And Watanabe with the penalty corner. The shot coming, and here's a chance for Japan, and just wide is Yamada, and they'll get another one.
Yeah, and good running there from Shea McAleese, as you can see. And 300 caps, he's actually worn one on the knee here, just with a good running line. He's down. I think he's... ball's hit him in the knee.
Yeah, he's clearly not comfortable at all. He'll be brave and walk it off by the looks of it.
Yeah, very brave running line, as you can see. Generally, with the first runners, they try to block, one side of the goal. So it's such an important job in penalty corner defence, and something that's really evolved in the last couple of years, and something the Black Sticks we actually pride ourselves on. So Shea will be, hurting, but at the same time, he did his job really well there, and I think he'll be lining up to do it again.
It's pretty tough in his 300th match to get smacked on the knee. He'll be brave and carry on. Meanwhile, though, Japan have another penalty corner. Back-to-back penalty corners, their third. Watanabe clears it. The shot comes. Great deflection from the keeper. And just the second time lucky. Well, it wasn't lucky at all, but the Yamasaki couldn't quite capitalise with the second chance.
Yes, good initial save here from Leon Hayward. Ball just falling to the Japanese player. Good pressure from Simon Child there, and Japanese player playing it over the top. So the Black Sticks again will be happy with how they defended that. Good running line there from McAleese. A good save from Leon Hayward, and good reactions in behind.
Just under 3 minutes to play, just before half-time. Japan will want another goal, just to keep the game in the balance. The defence from New Zealand, though, has been very good in this game.
Good play there from both Nick Woods and Shea McAleese. Woodsy realising that he wasn't 5 and just backtracking a wee bit, and Shea McAleese coming in and making a good, strong tackle.
Kane Russell right down in front of our commentary position. Clears to Bennett, who will just have to tidy up. Japan, though, applying pressure. New Zealand get it back through Tarrant.
Good composure there from Corey Bennett, Nick Woods, and with possession in the midfield. Just releasing to Blair Tarrant, and the Black Sticks looking to build a good attack here.
Good control and a great pass. Panchia gets it off to Smith, looking for the return ball. Panchia inside, and I think New Zealand will get a penalty corner here. Their first, I think, in the game, just from memory.
Yes, it is, and that's fantastic play from the Black Sticks. Building up possession from their own 50, and a 45 pass from Kane Russell there to Dylan Thomas, playing to the outside to Jared Panch here, and then Jake Smith providing good width on the baseline. A little elimination and then a bit of luck. Ball falls Jake's way and then does well to earn a corner.
Will be Marcus Child who will take the penalty corner, looking for his options.
So Kane Russell and Nick Woods at the top there, two very accomplished drag flickers. Let's see what they've got.
Opportunity for New Zealand. Oh, it just goes in. It goes in off the stick of a Japanese player. And Yashahi it was, who will be disappointed with that effort. But New Zealand go 4-1 up.
Yeah, it's very tough for the line stop there. Good flick from Kane Russell, who gets it off quickly, and with good power, line stop doesn't have too much to do there on his forehand, and unfortunately bounces into the goal. But a very good set piece from the Black Six there. Kane Russell just picking it up, releasing it, and flicking it into the goal.
Oh, you got a feel for them, don't you, with that? It was pretty much saved. Just the deflection.
Yeah, it's always a tough one as a line stop. You kind of want to get as much on it and try and block it, but obviously sometimes the ball goes in, and yeah.
Minute 40 to play. That is a very, very significant goal for New Zealand, just getting this game out of reach. But with 2 quarters to play after this, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the strengths of hockey, I guess, that the goals can be scored very quickly. So even with 1 minute 20 to go, there's still plenty of opportunity here. And as you can see, the Black Sticks looking to press up again and create another opportunity. Here they go, Nick Woods with the intercept there.
Woods has been prominent in the first 2 quarters. Good all-round effort from the Vantage Black Sticks. Good space here by the goal scorer Russell. Just couldn't quite get the pass off to Child.
And Kane, as you can see, just causing problems for the Japanese defence, just eliminating from the right-hand sideline using his speed, and he's always looking dangerous from that right side.
George Muir will join us for the last 2 quarters. It's been brilliant to have the insights of Aaron Panchia. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to Monday night. You'll be hopefully back in the playing team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the guys have been playing pretty well today, so I might be up here with you again.
I'll be here, but Brenton Vanusseroy will be commentating. I might be interviewing you downstairs, though. Hopefully it's a winning interview and rather than a losing interview.
Yeah, that's right. Look, as we sort of continue to build towards the career series, but the Black Sticks will be really happy with that half of hockey, and I think a lot to take forward into the second half. So I expect the full press to continue on, and the Black Sticks look to create a few more opportunities, but they'll be really pleased with that performance.
Thanks for your time coming up anyway, and George will join us very shortly. But New Zealand certainly have the dominance in the second match of the TSB Community Trust Series, and they lead at half-time, 4-1 in Stratford.
They say that the future of humanity is virtual, a place where our personalities are uploaded, and every moment of our life is played out in cyberspace. But what do they know? Ford Mustang. The future belongs to those who build it.
Coverage of the TSB Community Trust Series is proudly brought to you by Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand, Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, Lotto Sports, and Hockey New Zealand. Live from Stratford, it's the Vantage Black Sticks versus Japan.
Welcome back to Game 2 of the TSB Community Trust Series here in beautiful Stratford between the Vantage Black Six and the Samurai of Japan. Joined with me right now is General Manager of Hockey Taranaki, Denise Hill. Denise, you've been involved with hockey for nearly 20 years, first in the Hamilton region and now here in Taranaki. How important is it to have these types of international games in the regions?
It's really important. In the larger centres, they get to see these players all the time. Some of them are lucky enough to be coached by them, but we rely on events like this to have the exposure for our players.
There was a game back here in 2015. Since then, there's been dramatic growth for hockey here in Taranaki with player numbers and participation numbers. Tell us a little bit about that.
We have had massive growth. Since 2015, we have had an 80% increase in our primary school players and 50% increase in overall numbers. So we're sitting now on just over 1,900, so we're heading to 2,000.
Is that a continued focus for Hockey Taranaki in trying to develop those numbers and coaches and everything, or where does the next 5 years look for Hockey Taranaki?
Sure. It's something that Hockey New Zealand as a whole is looking at as to whether the growth numbers are something that's important or whether we now need to have a look at quality. We've got to get our volunteer numbers up to look after them, but we're certainly looking to growth as well.
And more games coming up in the next few weeks with the Olympic qualifiers here in November, of course. Having those games and those really big, key, important games for the people of Taranaki must contribute to that, surely.
Absolutely massive. There's such an opportunity. Earlier in the week, the children were able to mix and mingle with these players, and there's a lot of other wraparound events where they're getting an opportunity to meet them, so they become more people rather than just players that they see on TV.
Thanks for your time, Denise. Thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Not too far away from the start of the second half here at the TET Multi Sports Centre here in beautiful Stratford. Plenty of goals, great start to the game with an exciting first half. We are back here on Tuesday as well for 6:30 for game 3 and 4. Tickets on dashtickets.co.nz, or you can get them at the gate here in Stratford. Looking forward to the start of the second half. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, mate. Probably the driest part of the venue. It is not raining. It is just the water cannons watering the turf at the TET Multi Sports Centre. Beautiful conditions here in Stratford. And New Zealand have a very, very good lead. 4-1 against Japan. And they started off with great intent, New Zealand, with two really quick goals. Russell and Jenis scored the first. As we have a look at some of the highlights from the first half, or the first quarter rather. And certainly a contrast from what we saw in the first match where New Zealand was showing excellent defence but fairly conservative play. That was Russell's first goal, and the second one was Jenis, the reverse shot, and into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal. Japan then went 2-1. Oshahi with the strike, and it was just away from Hayward, who was in goal for New Zealand, and that was a beautiful play there. Jacob Smith from Capital getting his first of the day, and well, this one was really unfortunate from Japan. It did come off the stick of a Japanese player, but it was Russell who got it. That one there. This is a good angle of it here. It was pretty much saved, wasn't it? But it just came off the stick. So New Zealand 4-1 at half-time. Beautiful day here in Stratford. You can see in the distance the Stratford clock tower of that shot, and also Mount Taranaki just slightly obscured. Stratford, of course, no stranger to international hockey, the Oceania Cup, other matches. It's a fantastic multi-purpose facility here with tennis, basketball, netball, all played across the way. And we said in the commentary the other day that if you can see the mountain, it's about to rain. If you can't see it, it is raining. Not the case here today. We're live on Hockey New Zealand's channels also Sky Sport for these matches. And every time that the Vantage Black Sticks come to New Plymouth, Stratford, heavily supported by the community and just people in the crowd. We've seen people from all sports. Tim Stuck, who's the assistant coach of the Yarrows Taranaki Bulls, they played Auckland last night. We won't talk about that. But other people from the community out supporting these matches. And Hockey New Zealand have done a great job putting this all together. Good crowd, as we can see. Fairly warm. And plenty of entertainment as well on and off the turf. Just behind the glass there, very good pavilion. There's a restaurant for people. Pool as well. Second half moments away as the punters here enjoy West Coast Fish Company. Hot chips and coffee and so forth. As the two teams make their way out onto the middle of the TET Multi Sports Centre in Stratford. The usual coach Darren Smith is in a interesting position. He's end on and Glenn Turner is in charge today, who's generally the assistant coach with the whiteboard. But we mentioned the community getting behind these matches, and of course local hockey players are the Ball Kids. They've Kaimata and Naidi School been involved in the first game. St. Pius been involved in this game as the mascots and flag bearers supporting the occasion. Second half moments away. New Zealand have a very good lead, 4-1 over Japan. Of course, Japan won the first match on Thursday night, 2-1. So New Zealand are in a good position to equal the series with two games on Monday and Tuesday night, both starting at 6:30. Those games will be live on Sky Sport and Hockey New Zealand's channels. We are underway second half at the TET Multi Sports Centre in Stratford. 4-1 is the score, and Japan look to... Oh, in fact, New Zealand have got it back now. And it is Tarrant sizing up his options. Passes on the left-hand side. Edwards joined in commentary for the second half is George Muir. And George, thanks very much for your time. Not playing today, but I'm sure you'll be looking forward to Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely. And after seeing that first half, it's really got me excited for the next couple of games.
Some messages at half-time?
I was actually called to action at half-time, warming up Richard Joyce, who's come on in the second half, replaced Leon Hayward.
Well, New Zealand had a very good first half, didn't they? And I'm sure they'll look to continue that.
Yeah, I imagine the messages from Darren and Glenn at half-time would have been, keep doing what we're doing, keep the pressure on Japan, and keep slowing up their attacks.
George Muir out of North Harbour, 132 caps to his name, out of the midfield, so it's good to have your insight here in the second half.
Yeah, cheers. It's good to get up here. Big shoes to fill, I'm sure, with Aaron in the first half.
Probably a little bit cooler up here too.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's pretty nice temp out there for hockey, much better than the other night. It's nice for the Taranaki to put on the sun for us.
Oh, it's always like this.
I know the Japanese were definitely finding it challenging the other night, coming from the hot Tokyo into the cold Naki, so they'll be stoked with this.
Well, we see at the moment, obviously with the rugby watching that, and the temperatures over there, you know, late 20s, high humidity, so it's a massive contrast, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. We were there about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it was stinking hot over there. Definitely better hockey conditions out here today.
Right, Japan now They'll be desperate to get a goal. And they're at the top of the circle. And deflected away by Joyce. So he's been well utilised early on in this third quarter. This is 80th cap out of North Harbour, so he's in your NHL team. So you'll know him fairly well.
Yeah, very good save from Joyce there. It's not easy coming on in the second half, but he's had a good warm-up and he's feeling good. So caught into action straight away, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that start.
So Darren Smith has selected 3 goalies for the series. Of course, we saw George Ennison in goal for the first game. I think he played the full match, didn't he? So he's had a nice breather today.
Yeah, George getting a bit of time off today. But good to see Leon there with a solid debut performance. I think probably the oldest Black Stick to ever debut, 29 years old. Obviously a bit of a background in the Australian team, and he's had a stand-down period and now really excited to play for the Black Sticks.
Watanabe with the penalty corner. Opportunity here for Japan in the early stages of this third quarter. Here's the strike, and it is in, yes. Japan get their first goal of the third quarter. Trying to pick out who it was, but it was a low shot though, wasn't it, George?
Yeah, it was. It's an ideal start for Japan. The boys won't be too happy about that. Very important next period for the guys. Yeah, as we see there, he's just gone round the runner and down to the goalie's left.
It is Zendana who picks up the goal. He'll make it 4-2.
Yeah, there's a couple of main threats at the top of the D there for Japan. It makes it challenging for the runners. Both Zendana and Shota Yamada, big threats, and have both scored a lot of goals in the past.
Well, Japan will be happy with the start of the third quarter. New Zealand, though, will continue to apply the pressure. At the moment, the foot is very much on the throat, but that can change in this match. Good pass there from Bennett. And it is Child, though, who is penalised. So Japan get it right back again. In fact, it has been intercepted. Intercepted by Ross, getting into the circle. That Japanese defence, though, coming up nicely.
Yeah, and an important steal there from Nick Ross. Straight after a goal, that's not what you want a Japanese counter-attack. It's one of their biggest threats, so really critical defensive play there. And as we see here, the boys hot on attack, get into the circle.
It was a good pass in the circle from Child. And Japan will be penalised, will they? And that's David Tomlinson on the far side, the umpire, and he will be joined by Ben Grant.
Yeah, it's really good to see the umpires working together there. Sometimes you can be a bit blinded down one end, but it's good to have the help from Tomlinson there, and I think it was just raised from the Japanese player into his own body. Simon Child with a strong receive there.
So a penalty corner to the Black Sticks. We've got Russell there, who's already scored a goal. Bennett, of course. Will be interesting to see who they pick out. Here's the shot coming. And, that came from Russell. But what do you make of that play?
Yeah, penalty stroke awarded by the umpire there. So Kane, he's just rammed it at the line stopper there, and he's behind the goalie, so it was going to be a certain goal if it hadn't hit his body, so there's the stroke awarded.
The Japanese players down in a lot of pain. We did see McAleese go down early in the match too. I think he got a ball on the knee in his 300th game, which is fairly rough, but just trying to see how he got injured. And that shot was just away to the right.
Yeah, and I imagine we'll see Russell step up to take the stroke here as well. Japanese player gets to his feet, that's a good sign.
Oh, he's in agony. Make out who it is. Ohashi, I think. Yeah, in 20 it is. Meanwhile, Russell is lining up for the play. A penalty stroke coming up. All the other players are back at halfway. New Zealand having a conference. Japan stretched out, ready to go again. Kane, Russell. And he's successful. Kane Russell gets his second goal of the afternoon. New Zealand pushed their score out to 5-2 in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's a great shot from Kane Russell there. He's just nailed it deep into the corner. Would have got the goal himself from the drag flick, stopped on the line by the Japanese body and goes up and puts it in again. 5-2 to the boys, and that's a double for Kane Russell.
Do you call it a brace in hockey? Two goals a brace?
One more for his hat-trick. I'm not sure about the brace call, but
I'm thinking of
we'll
rugby.
go with that. We'll go
thinking of rugby. If not, I've just made it up. Japan now 3 goals behind in this match. And Fujishima.
Yeah, important the boys weather the Japanese storm here. I think they'll be really trying to get one back pretty quickly. They're a fast-paced side. They'll be looking to their strengths of counter and set play. So if we can just weather the storm for a few minutes and try to get some possession in our own half.
Makudi showed a little bit of speed inside New Zealand's D. They will get it back through Oshahi. Free hit taken. Nagai trying to move through, and he does. And New Zealand will be penalised once more. Just coming off the shin of a black stick. They do have protection, though, for those situations. It's a nice pass down the sideline. Japan get it back, though. And there's an unmarked player inside the circle. Reverse shot. Just away. That was Shahi. Desperate attempt.
Yeah, it's good play from the Japanese. They looked to crash the ball in on the right, and it didn't quite work for them, so they've just transitioned across the other side, and they've found a player unmarked who's had a shot on goal there, and it's just come off the foot of Bennett. So another PC for the boys to defend. This will be Joyce's first of the half.
Well, I'm sure with your warm-ups during half-time, it should be okay.
Yeah, he did. He had his stick working very well for him, Joycey. And, you know, it's something we really pride ourselves on, our PCD.
Shahi will take the penalty corner for Japan. The strike coming away. Good pressure being applied there by the Vantage Black Sticks. Japan will be disappointed with that effort.
Yeah, the Japanese players look to replicate his goal that he's just previously scored, and he's gone to the wide bracket and tried to slide it down the right foot of Joycey.
McAleese will get a return pass back to him in his 300th, showing his skill with the overhead pass. New Zealand will get the ball back, though.
That's a big strength of Shea McAleese. He's really precise with his overhead, and he can pick out a player from anywhere in the field.
Oh, Blair Tarrant. Beautiful work by the captain.
The other night, and he was playing up in the striker line, back to his preferred position at wing half, but it's still good to see those skills coming out.
Free hit for Japan.
It's an important period here for both teams. Third quarter, you know, this is where the game can really go either way, but the Black Sticks with the momentum so far and just be looking to kind of put the foot on the throat here and keep the Japanese out of the goal.
Well, they've showed a lot of aggression today, New Zealand. Something that we didn't really see the other night, did we?
Yeah, not so much. It definitely wasn't for a lack of trying, but you know, straight from the get-go today, we saw the aggression. Going a couple goals up early was a great start for the Black Sticks. You can never count the Japanese out, though. You know, coming back straight away with their counter-attack goals.
Japan inside the D. And, well, that's Tarrant there. Good defence. We're just updating our goals. Russell has scored 3. He got that goal just before the break, so...
Yeah, it's easy to think of Kane Russell as a penalty corner specialist and a penalty stroke specialist, but he did get that first one on the backhand after eliminating a few Japanese defenders, and he got us off to that great start. So not the term brace, but the hat-trick. He's got the complete hat-trick.
Oh, brilliant stuff. It's sometimes hard to see who the players are when they're all grouped together. Russell scored 3 and Genus 1, so a good performance so far by the Vantage Black Sticks. Japan just working away on that far side.
Yeah, it seems like the boys have fallen back into a half-court press here, just trying to take some sting out of the Japanese attack. Japanese like to play a really fast-paced game, so Black Sticks here just kind of settling in and asking the Japanese to play a little bit different.
Oh, Tanaka had real good work there from Hoshi. They find themselves in a good spot here. And once more, the defence from Dane Lett is very good.
Yeah, great spot tackle from Dane there. He's solid as a rock back there, and he really prides himself on those kind of spot tackles.
Here's Genus. Nagai. Japan with a bit of possession inside their own half. Oh, intercepted there. And that was Blair Tarrant, the skipper today. Generally rotate the captaincy through a series like this?
I think Blair will probably wear the captain's band for the majority of this series. With both him and Aaron having worn the captain band a bit in the past couple of years.
Stick went on the ground on the far side in front of a packed grandstand.
Yeah, and you hear the calls coming on from the field. The boys wanting to play with some possession here. They've just slowed down a bit of their Japanese attack and looking to get some control in this game, control the third quarter, and then really take the win in the fourth.
Lett gets it back. Just over 4.5 to play in the third quarter. New Zealand have a very good lead, 5-2 in this game off the back of Japan winning the first game 2-1 on Thursday night in very difficult conditions with wind and rain. It was cold as well. It wasn't that comfortable for anybody involved. On the far side is Nayoshi. In the corner they go. Good defense though from New Zealand, just getting the attack rattled.
That's good defense from the guys. Japanese transitioning the ball from one side to the other, but the guys keeping them out on the sideline there and negating their crash ball threat.
What we haven't seen today, and we did see it on Thursday night, is New Zealand played a lot of hockey inside their own half when they had possession, but for today they've shown a little bit more aggression. They're moving the ball into the right areas, as we can see now.
Yeah, definitely. As Jared Pincher there with a good dribble, puts it onto the Japanese foot. We talk a lot about possession in the opposition 50, so that's something that we try to change from previously.
Good pass. Unfortunately goes into the possession of Kirishita. And this is great ball. Kirishita gets it back. Off to Ashahi now. Who can he link up with inside the circle? And it is a New Zealand stick that gets to it. They will clear outside their D. Child. He initially looked to whack downfield. Kirishita applied a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, some good composure shown from the Black Sticks there and some good running back from the midfield and the backs. Bit of sustained ball possession in our front 50, but then you never know with the Japanese. They've got such a fast counter-attack, and it was important that we got our numbers back there and just, stop the attack.
George Muir joining us in commentary for the second half of this game. Good to have insights. And you're hearing these messages directly from the horse's mouth, so appreciate your time.
No worries. Here we go with an attack with Stevie Edwards. He's got some silky skills up here.
Yeah, we've really seen that so far today. And, it was a 2-on-1. And on that occasion, there was only going to be one winner. And that little play, and that was Japan. But again, they have a taste of their own medicine, but they get it out.
Yeah, a little bit hard done by there, Stevie, but boys, we're trying to keep him in the corner here. Try to keep numbers around the ball and really swarm the Japanese players.
A loud whistle from the official. Reaching into his pocket, and that is a green card. So 2 minutes.
See there, that was Genki Matani on the ball for Japan. Genki's played a bit of hockey in New Zealand as well, played for the North Harbour Wolves back in 2016, and he really enjoys his time in New Zealand. Talking to Genki here as well, it's a massive honour for him to be captaining his side. Minaba Yamashita, the usual captain for Japan, unable to be here, and Genki just really enjoying the honour to represent his country and to captain them.
Japan will have another opportunity in this little period of play. Free hit taken, and we do believe it's the number 15 for Japan who has been sent off for 2 minutes. And another player down.
Yeah, it's Rossi there, Nick Ross. He looks like he's taken a stick to the nose. Yeah, he's just asking Tomlinson if that was a dangerous swinging stick, but I think there was accidental from the Japanese player and no love lost.
Tanaka will take the penalty here, or the free hit. They go right. They're in the circle. Again, and New Zealander gets in the way, but Japan get it back. That's a great pass. And it will be a penalty corner. Child having a word to the umpire about that one.
Yeah, I think he might have got a little bit of help from halfway there, Tomlinson. You know, good sustained pressure from the Japanese, though. They're just playing around the fringes, looking to get a penalty corner. They're really dangerous from set piece. Both Zendana and Shota Yamada up here on the field. Now, will they look to go to Zendana again on the wide bracket and keep peppering that right-hand side? Or will Yamada step up this time?
Shahi now. The strike there from Japan. And again, well kept by Joyce. New Zealand. Well, there could have been a goal on there, and there could be one at the other end. Jenis moves through to the fence. He'll earn a free hit. Passes back to the mark. Through Child.
It's a great save from Joyce. It's always tricky, those ones right around the goalkeeper's feet. And you've got the runners blurring your vision, but as you see here, it's put us into attack, so important save.
Let moves it over. Child, that's a great pass. Just put his stick out and guided it through. And Japan now, and Tanaka comes away with it. Moved out of a couple of defending players, and that pass just gone a little bit too far. You can see the Japanese player just give up.
Yeah, he's giving up and saving his legs, I think, as you saw Corey Saurus running back there.
Well, the third quarter just flew by, didn't it? That is 15 minutes up. And New Zealand maintain their lead. It is 5-2. And your summation of that third quarter?
Yeah, it's a bit more of an even quarter there. Obviously, Japan coming in pretty hot after the halftime chat. Maybe they got a bit of a ruck up from their coach and scoring pretty early, but the Black Sticks were able to quickly fire back through Kane Russell in his stroke there. So a bit more of an evenly poised quarter. Very important final quarter here for the Black Sticks, that they just control the game, you know, get some possession, slow down the Japanese counter-attack and really get the win here.
Crowd getting fully involved. It's pretty much a capacity stand on that far side of the TET Multi Sports Centre in Stratford.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that's one of the great things about coming to the regions is you get such a great enthusiastic crowd, and they've come out in numbers today.
And they're scattered around the turf here, and we have a look at the Japanese huddle. Seyfried Aikman, what do you think some of his comments are? He wouldn't be happy.
No, he won't be at this stage, and he's certainly vocal when he's not happy. you know, he'll be just getting the message across that he wants them to be aggressive in this quarter. They've got nothing to lose now, a few goals behind, and he'll just be wanting to see them play kind of all out from the back to the front. He likes to see the long crash balls go from one end to the other and just really work on that set piece.
Both teams making their way out onto the middle. Into the last quarter now. New Zealand have a 5-2 lead. 15 to play in this game. And I don't want to count my chickens, but they could equal the series after Japan won that first match by 2-1. And quite an entertaining game as well. But more goals scored today as we're back underway. Sun coming down in Stratford. It's turned out to be a very beautiful afternoon. It was a great morning as well, and it's great that the sun has continued to shine in central Taranaki. And for those watching, not sure where we are, of course, Stratford, about half an hour south of New Plymouth on New Zealand's west coast of the North Island.
Yeah, bit of a set play from Japan there. Ball just outside the 25, so they're able to hit it directly into the circle.
Japan now. There was a deflection which promoted the ball to go up in the air, and it was Ndana with that pass. They will get it back though. This is the number 5, Yamada. It's a good pass there, and Yamada tried to flick it into the goal, but couldn't quite. I think just the pass, just a little bit too far for him.
Yeah, just a bit too far in front of him, I think, there for Zindana. They've been very effective around the edge of the circle there, Japan. They're kind of looking for the crash balls, and then when that's not working, they're going on the shorter passes, which I think is kind of paying more dividends for them lately.
Good ball control there by the captain today, Blair Tarrant. They'll get it back though, will New Zealand, right where he controlled that ball. Passing.
See the Japanese players here pushing up. They know they've got nothing to lose, just going to be applying the full pressure to the Black Sticks boys. Good skill here by Kane.
Yeah, Russell, you can see 3 defenders around him, but he did really, really well. That is a great pass here. Child gets it off just to the edge of the circle. Punchia moving it forward, and it will be a penalty corner to New Zealand.
Great attack from the Black Sticks there. Started at the back with Kane Russell. As you say, he was swarmed by 3 Japanese defenders, and he managed to get himself out of there. Link up with Marcus Child, who got it across to the other side, and Panchia just puts it on the Japanese foot in a well-earned penalty corner.
Will be Child who will take this penalty corner. Who have we got? We've got Russell there. Just to name a few. Also, we have Smith. Woods as well. So some good strikers. Here's the shot for the Kiwis, and it's in. Is that Kane Russell again?
That is. That's Kane Russell with his 4th goal of the match.
And he takes the score out to 6-2. New Zealand taking full control of this match.
That's very good execution there from the set piece. Kane Russell has gone low to the right, where he put the last flick that was stopped by the Japanese body. And this time he's beaten the goalie and the body of the defender, and he's got his 4th.
So 12 minutes to play. New Zealand 6-2 over Japan. Looking to get their first win of this 4-match series, the TSB Community Trust Series. Of course, building up to the all-important qualifying Olympic qualifier against Korea in November. And it's an important series, isn't it, George? Because some players will be looking to cement their spot in the qualifier and also potentially into the Olympics next year.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's great preparation for us leading into the qualifiers against Korea. And that goal is certainly an important goal in this match as well. If Japan has scored first, it's a 2-goal buffer, but that can be very dangerous in this fourth quarter. But with the fourth goal, it takes a little bit of the pressure off, and New Zealand will look to control this last quarter. It's good practice for what we could face in the qualifiers as well.
Diving save there from Let. This is now Zindana. Good pass to Hoshi. And away.
Japanese certainly are keen on that crash ball around the fringe, and this is where they've been dangerous today. So, here we go. Richard Joyce nearly caught into action again there, but it'll go out for a long corner. Good defence from the guys at the back.
Well, it's clear that your warm-up at half-time's paid off, because he's doing very, very well, is Joyce.
I don't think I could take too much of the credit. He's a great goalie, Richard Joyce.
Yeah, 80 caps to his name today. A lot of experience for North Harbour.
Might be a slightly off statistic. Joyce, he's in the 100 club here.
Oh, he is. It's good to be stand corrected by someone who's actually in the squad. Russell.
A few milestone again. Shea McAleese obviously playing his 300th today. I know Corey Bennett's getting close to his 100th game for the Black Sticks. And we've had 2 Japanese players reach 100 in this series. So certainly a lot of milestones coming in as Panchir. Quick hands shown from Panchir. Finds lane and...
Just away. Child it was who tried to get the deflection inside the goal. And it was a great run by Panchir. And just the one-handed pass.
Yeah, it's a good skill shown by Sam Lane there. I know Bryce Collins, the assistant coach, will be happy wherever he is. He's watching from Johor in Malaysia at the moment. And that's a skill that we work on as strikers.
Japan now, I was going to say they're in some space, but intercepted there by Let. Panchir just leaves it alone because he knows that it came off a Japanese stick and he will get the ball back. No, in fact, he'll swap it over to Tarrant. He's going to pass back and pass to Panchir. Let again in the backfield for the Black Sticks. Swiveling out of the defence. McAleese, who took a knock early on in his 300th match and seemed to bounce back fairly well from that, which is brilliant to see. We want him to continue. Want him to play well in his 300th. Japan with speed in the right half. They'll be really disappointed being down 6-2. Ashi. They're in the circle now. More importantly, though, can they make it pay off?
Yeah, it's good play from Japan there, and it's equally good defence, just absorbing the attack and getting numbers behind the ball. Japan here. And he's blown for not being 5, I believe. So Japan will get a second go at this.
Tanaka over the pill. Japan, the desperate swipe, but it's been deflected off New Zealander in defence.
Yeah, nice touch from Dane there, just guiding the ball to safety. Dangerous crash ball coming in from the Japanese player there. New Zealand boys will want to be pushing out here. We won't want to sag back too far.
Here's the shot again, and kicked away by Joyce. Another good save by the New Zealand keeper. Smith gets it into the corner. New Zealand will look to clear now. Panchir slipping, sliding, and unfortunately just losing control of the ball. Japan now on the attack at the top of the circle. And Nagai passes back to safety. The Kiwis will look to clear it from their own half.
Yeah, and there's the experience of Shea McAleese showing again. Just gets himself onto the ball, finds Child in the middle, and we get some possession further up the field. Yeah, Child and Janice linking up on the right there. Just looking to hold the pill up the front here and keep possession for as much as the rest of the game as we can. Brad Reed on the left.
Some nice overhead passes for the Black Sticks. Diving on the ground, and it worked out okay, didn't it? Reed will get it back though, making sure it doesn't go too far. Here's Ross spinning. Ross will get it back, and that is a good pass to Tarrant, who was unmarked. Gets it inside the circle. In fact, it has been intercepted by Japan. Ball bobbling all over the place. Japan do get it back through Oshie. And Let gets away in the middle of the pass. And again, New Zealand go on the attack. I think they'll be fairly happy being 6-2 up with just over 5.5 to play in this match. Tarrant go over halfway. It comes off the foot of the number 21, Wakuri. Let move it into a really good position. That's a great pass. And they're going to be off the leg, was it? Jacob Smith showing his speed in the circle, didn't he? Or in the deep.
Yeah, he certainly is, and linking up well there. From back to front, McAleese showing his experience, coming from the back to the front, and sucking in a few Japanese defenders, passing the ball forward, and that's what created the attack.
Woods. This is Thomas. Dylan Thomas, who returns after the Pro League. Good to see him back in Black Sticks colours.
Yeah, Dylan, another player who was in some good form at NHL, scored a lot of goals, so it's good to see him back in the Black Sticks team.
Two players return, don't they, in this series, which is fantastic to see. And
certainly is. As we see a good run from Corey Bennett there, showing off his skills. The defenders they definitely have some good elimination skills as well as they come up the field.
Shahi will get it in play for Japan. Just struggling a little bit on the attack as Hoshi gets it back to Oshai. And he gets a crossfield pass. And again, New Zealand applying their pressure on defence. Yamasaki will kick it back to the mark. And Kirishita over the ball.
I think that's been a really big part of our game today, is just putting the pressure on the Japanese players at all times, denying them time on the ball. And that's allowed us to have turnovers higher up in the field and really put pressure on them throughout the game.
Thomas trying to go through his man. Let over to Woods. He's going to go far. He does go far. Reed is there. And just couldn't quite get the pass away. And waiting in the circle was a very valuable striker in lane. Woods passes back to around about halfway. A good overhead pass. And couldn't quite control it on that occasion.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a bit today as well. Shea McAleese just using the attacking overhead, and it's so pinpoint that he's able to find the players in our own half, bring it down safely. The defenders have to be 5 metres, so it's really used as an attacking weapon.
Zindana overhead flick, met though by Panchia. Good pass to an unmarked man at the top of the circle. Here's the strike again. Just away. Kiwis will get it back. Punch here. Good pass. The reverse coming. No. Woods couldn't quite control it. Japan will look to clear. And they're under immense pressure again. A good period of play there by the Vantage Black Sticks.
Yeah, some good attack there. Good shot, good quick shot from Dylan Thomas, and important save from the Japanese goalie with his right foot. But it's some sustained attack for the Kiwis, and this is what we'll be wanting to just, hold the ball for the rest of the game and not give Japan any more chances.
Woods got a pass from Child, and Woods gets it back. And here's Russell with a bit of footwork, a great dribble, and a pass again, just not sticking. Couldn't quite get it away to Child.
Yeah, really showing his speed there, Kane Russell. He's so quick off the mark, and it's really hard to press.
Overhead pass again. Japan, they'll want another goal just before full time, wouldn't they? And on the contrary, so will New Zealand. Ooh, a loud whistle by the umpire. What did you see in that play?
Yes, it's a long-range penalty corner given there by Dave Tomlinson. So that's usually, for a tackle that it's particularly bad or some foul play. I think it was probably the combination of two bad tackles from the Black Sticks players there. Maybe a little bit harsh, but at this time of the game, the umpires do tend to tighten up on things.
It also gets Japan within 3 if this pays off. Hoshi, Tanaka, Kirishita are there in the brackets, and this is Watanabe in 31. He will take the penalty corner. Options are plenty for him. 1 minute to play. The strike coming from Japan, just away in the deflection. Oh, there's an injured player there too at the top of the circle, and the New Zealanders showing really good sportsmanship. And that's Jacob Smith, who's down to make sure he's okay. It's Kirishita, who is in all sorts of pain. May have got a stick to the back of the head. I don't know.
Yeah, not too sure what's going on at the top of the D there. Possibly Jacob Smith, while he was running one, unintentionally picked up a Japanese player there.
Maybe just at the top of the shot.
There's a great save on the line there by Joyce and McAleese in combination.
See what happened. Oh yeah, a little bit of contact. Unintentional, and the wide shot will show it. Oh, get that in ya.
Yeah, it might make an appearance on Smash Number, I think, but definitely not intentional from Jacob Smith there. Just running his line, and the Japanese player as well running his line. Unintentional, and it's definitely not what you like to see, especially in these stages of the game. So hoping the Japanese players are right here. Nearly got the rebound as well there, the Japanese player.
Well, he's still on the ground, isn't he? The ice comes out. Technical official Gavin Hawke is also on the turf. Jacob Smith showing really good sportsmanship. And it was an accident, of course. Certainly not intended to hurt anybody. And he was the first one to make sure he was okay.
Yeah, it's really good to see from Jacob. You don't want to see this at all in a game. The Japanese are probably the nicest international hockey team you'll ever come up against. So, really taking the time to make sure he's all right down there. And Gavin with his experience as well. And see Ben Park, the New Zealand physio, going in to assist as well.
St John ambulance ready to come out. It's not a great sight to see. Are they calling for the stretcher? They might be. Here they are too.
Always better to be on the safe side with head injuries and neck injuries.
Well, the paramedic also coming out with a neck brace too. Richard Palmer just to the left is the front of shot. He's the event manager for Hockey New Zealand coming out too, showing great concern. And we've got about 40 seconds to play here. But of course, we hope that Kirishita, who is up on hands and knees, which is a good sign.
Hopefully just precautionary with the neck brace and the stretcher. Definitely not what we like to see with so little time left in the game. You know, it's been such a good game, competed by both teams, and you know, in good spirits as well. It's good to see him back on his feet here.
Yeah, good to see. And he will walk off, and he will get a round of applause from this very good crowd here in Stratford. Yoshiki Kirishita, he's up on his feet, being helped off by the officials and the paramedics. Thankfully, they didn't need the stretcher.
And what about the Black Sticks? How about a round of applause for our Black Sticks here this afternoon?
So still 40 seconds to go here, and it's a Black Sticks 16-yard hit. Shea McAleese with one of the final plays of the game in his 300th game.
Yeah, good on him too. We congratulate him. A marvellous achievement, and we've been talking about it for the last couple of days. Also joins Burrows, Cousins and Archibald, who are the others who have played 300 games for the Vantage Black Sticks. Japan on attack straight away, looking to control it as Watanabe, who got a goal in the first game. Not on the score sheet today, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty special list of individuals, all Black Sticks legends there, and I know Shea will be very proud to join that list.
Loud blast from umpire David Tomlinson. And it will be a penalty corner. And McAleese having a word to him too. Not going to change his mind. So just before full time, Japan have another opportunity to reduce the margin going by the defence of the Black Sticks. You know, that could be the advantage to them.
Yeah, and I know with 18 seconds left, you know, this game's kind of done and dusted, and the Black Sticks will take the win, but they definitely won't be wanting to let Japan score another goal here, and they, like I said, they pride themselves on their PCD, so all to play for here.
Lined up. Here's the strike coming for Japan, and it's Indana who scores their third goal of the afternoon. And it paid off the patience that they've shown in this match. 6-3's the score. Here's the replay. Low, flat hit. And
it's almost a replica of his previous goals in Dana. It's gone to the wide bracket, he's gone around the runner, and he's just rammed it at the line stopper to the left of goalkeeper Richard Joyce. So I know the penalty corner defence won't be too happy about that, but you know, going forward, it gives us something to practice, something to go up against with Zindana there. He's doing it time and time again.
That's his second goal as well. So Zindana on the score sheet twice. And potentially, yeah, Japan had the final say of this match. New Zealand, a very strong performance, winning 6-3 and equal the series. It's 1-1 in this 4-game series. And George Muir, we really appreciate your time coming up here. Of course, not playing today, but I'm sure you'll get an opportunity on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks for having me up here. Long time listener, first time caller.
Well, we've really appreciated your time. And of course, in the first half, we had Aaron Punch here. So it's good to have the insights from the people on the ground. As both players, well, both teams shake hands, we had 5 goals from Kane Russell and 1 from Stephen Gennis. So 6-3, the final score. A very dominant performance, wasn't it? And Russell, he was instrumental.
Yeah, he certainly was. He got things started there with the first goal. You know, bit of individual brilliance, beat a couple of Japanese defenders, and then put it on the backhand and slotted it. the rest of his goals coming from set players we're about to see. And Jacob Smith and Stephen Jennis as well getting on the score sheet. Some unselfish play from the Black Sticks in both of their field goals.
Here's the one that came from Japan. That was Ochi who got the first one. And New Zealand bounced back. They scored 2 very quick goals, as we saw on the replay. This one here coming from a penalty corner. Yeah, low and flat and hard, which is always hard to save. Zindana, this is his first one in 29. And again, bottom right-hand corner. Russell with the penalty shot. This one was hard to save, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely saw a lot of rockets out there with the drag flicks going low corners and the stroke. A lot of action and a lot of excitement, a lot of goals for the crowd to see.
Oh, they've been spoilt. This is Indana's last one to make it 6-3. And we'll go downstairs to Matt Hastings. He will have the man of the match and both captains.
Thanks, Will. A great game here today, Stratford, for Game 2 of the TSB Community Trust Series between Vantage Black Sticks and Samurai Japan. Right now we have the man of the match presentation, and I'm joined by Jason Kowaleski from Kowaleski Holdings to present that to today's man of the match with 4 goals. Goes to Kane. Kane Russell, congratulations. You must be pretty pleased with scoring 4 goals, but more importantly, a great response from the team after Thursday night's game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to bounce back. We didn't play how we wanted to play the other night, and we had a pretty big milestone with Shane McAleese reaching 300 games. So the boys are fizzed up, and I think you can see that the way we started the game.
Sets up a really good game, Game 3 on Monday night. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday night.
Thanks, mate.
Cool. Joining me now is the Samurai Japanese captain, Genki Matane. Genki, unfortunately not the result today that you were hoping for after Thursday night's good performance. What are your thoughts on the game today?
Today we couldn't my team organize, and but we could many shooting opportunity. Then this is good point. Next, we hope win the match.
Really important next 2 days to get ready for Monday night's game. What are some of the important messages and things that you will go away and work on to get ready for Monday?
Monday, easy question, please. Easy question.
What your 2 days before the game? What will you go and work on?
First, we organize, then play to win, then play to enjoy the play.
Okay. Thanks very much. We'll see you on Monday night.
Thank you.
Thank you. And joining me now is Black Sticks captain, Blair Tarrant. Blair, congratulations. A good result and overall good team performance from Thursday night's game, getting ready for yourselves on Monday. What are your thoughts on the game?
I think we had a lot more intent today, which was what we were after. Obviously, the last game wasn't what we were looking for, so I'm pretty proud of what we came out and put on the field.
Tactically set up very well, both with position and out of position as well. Big contributor and something that you worked on and talked about yesterday leading into today?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time watching some video and preparing for Japan in terms of how we wanted to hurt them with our press, but also with the ball. And I think we put that in place today, and we're still letting ourselves down sometimes with our skill, but apart from that, it's starting to look really good.
Some pretty key performances from a number of players today, especially Leon Hayward with his first cap and goal there in the first half, making some pretty crucial saves at key moments of the game. And then, of course, Kane scoring 4 goals today as well.
Yeah, Leon did well. He's a pretty enthusiastic guy, so you always hear him behind you, and good on him today. And yeah, Kane, we expect him to do that, so it's good to see. Sets up very well for a great game on Monday night. It does, and we're looking forward to it. 2 games in a row is what we need, so it's going to be good.
Great. Thanks very much, mate.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Finished 6-3 here today at the TET Multi Sports Centre here in beautiful Stratford. Back here on Monday night for Game 3 between the Vantage Black Sticks and the Samurai of Japan.
Thanks very much, Matt. A dominant performance by New Zealand. Russell got 4 goals, Jennis and Smith with the other 2. And for Japan, Zendana got 2, Ochi got 1. 6-3 the final score, and New Zealand level the 4-match series, 1 match all. And that's all we've got time for at the TET Multi Sports Centre in Stratford. Thanks very much for your time. My name is Will Johnson. We'll see you back here on Monday.
Coverage of the TSB Community Trust Series is proudly brought to you by Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand. Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, Lotto Sports, and Hockey New Zealand. Live from Stratford, it's the Vantage Blacksticks versus Japan.